Fitness myths. There is an insane amount of them, and you probably still believe in at least a half of them. You might not even realize that a lot of things that you are doing are actually based on a myth. So let me do you a favor and bust all of these myths, so that you can finally stop making the mistakes that were born on some bodybuilding forum in the year 2006. Number 1. Anabolic window. The anabolic window is one of the most popular myths that a lot of people still believe in. If you are not really aware of what the anabolic window is, it simply means that once you finish your workout, you need to get in some protein, otherwise you will not build any muscle and the workout will be quote-unquote wasted. And I'm not gonna lie, in like 2016, even I still thought it was true. But this just makes no sense at all. Yes, you should definitely have a post-workout meal, but you don't need to make it into a locker room speedrun. The way it works is like this. Imagine that you eat a pre-workout meal with a good amount of protein, and then after an hour or so you go to the gym. Where do you think that the protein from the pre-workout meal went? Well, it didn't go anywhere, it's still in your system. So once you finish your workout, you don't need to instantly slam a protein shake. Your body still has plenty to work with. You can wait an hour or two, or maybe even 3 if your pre-workout meal had a lot of protein. So there is no need to stress about the anabolic window. Number 2. You can spot reduce fat. Yeah, that is a tough one. This myth will probably never leave, and people will keep asking how to burn off their love handles. So hopefully once and for all, spot fat reduction is not possible. That is because your body burns fat systemically, which means that the fat gets burned relatively evenly across the board. And unfortunately, the area where you would want to burn off the fat the most will most likely be one of the last ones to disappear. This differs a little bit from person to person, and it's also very dependent on your genetics. But it's mostly dependent on your gender. Men will store most of their fat around their midsection. That's why the most common complaint you hear is always belly fat and love handles. And then of course some men will also store fat on their chest. But for women, the most common area is legs, so hips, thighs and butt. And the only way you are getting rid of the fat in those areas is if you put yourself in a calorie deficit for long enough. So you really have to be patient. If you are losing weight, you are doing great. You just need to keep it going for a little longer and not get discouraged. Then you will reach your goal. Number 3. More sweat indicates more calories burned. Honestly, I can't even describe what I'm feeling every time I see someone doing cardio in a sauna suit, or when they are fully covered in that see-through foil you use in the kitchen. Not only that this does not work, but it can be really dangerous. People who believe this myth probably have a reason for it. And if I could guess, they probably went on a run in a sauna suit, then came back home and saw that they lost 5 pounds in 30 minutes and thought, wow, this really works. Yeah, you could probably guess by now where that weight loss came from. You are essentially just dehydrating yourself, and that weight you lose is just you losing all the water weight. Once you rehydrate yourself, you will be back to normal. Trust me, you are really not losing 5 pounds in 30 minutes. All you can achieve by doing this is fainting. And that's probably one of the better results, if you are picking up what I'm putting down. Number 4. Stretching before a workout prevents injuries. Okay, I wouldn't really blame you for this one, so I will give you a pass. But listen, do not confuse stretching and warming up. These are two completely different things. Warming up before a workout prevents injuries, but stretching before a workout causes injuries. If you spend 20 minutes before a workout doing static stretches, you are pretty much sabotaging yourself, because you are loosening all your muscles, and when all your muscles are loose, you have a big problem. For 2 reasons. You will not be able to generate as much power as if you didn't stretch before, and because your muscles are all loosened up, you will be less stable, which will increase the likelihood of you getting injured by a lot. So remember, if you want to do static stretches, do it after your workout, not before. And before your workout, all you do is warm up, which, as the word tells you, should just get your body warm and ready to go. So if you are starting your workout with the bench press, for example, do a couple of push-ups and then some reps with the empty bar, then add a little more weight and so on. Doesn't matter how you do it, just get your joints warm. That's it. Number 5. You gotta shock the muscle. There is one guy who is solely responsible for creation of this myth, and that guy is Arnold. You could say that this is not really a myth, because it is kind of true. You really gotta switch it up every so often. But most of the people have this idea that they need to make changes every month. And that is just a terrible idea. The only thing that the constant switches achieve is that you are not able to progressively overload properly. Because before you get into some kind of groove, the exercise is switched again. So you are not really progressing, you are just playing musical chairs. You can easily go 6 months, a year, or even more using the same exact exercises and be completely fine. This is especially true if you are relatively new to the gym. So yeah, definitely shock the muscle, but with some thought behind it. Otherwise, the only one shocked will be you. Number 6. Carbs make you fat. No matter what type of diet you are doing, it's always calories in and calories out. If you are in a calorie surplus, you will gain weight. If you are in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. And it doesn't matter if those calories came from eating a ton of rice or from eating a boatload of chicken. It's just all calories. The reason why this myth became so popular is because it's way more difficult to overeat when you are eating only protein and fat, as they are more satiating than carbs. So when some people try this out and cut out all the carbs, they lost weight. But not because they stopped eating carbs, but because they ate less as a result, and accidentally put themselves in a calorie deficit without even knowing it. And that's how these myths usually are. People are results oriented, so even though this actually works, it really wasn't because of the carbs making you fat. Number 7. You need supplements for the best gains. No, definitely not. Just realizing what the word supplement really means tells you everything. It's something that you add on top of something that already exists. So if you already have a good diet, adding protein powder on top will not make it any better. The same way, if your diet is absolutely terrible and your breakfast consists of a Red Bull and a ciggy, then adding protein powder on top will also not really do anything. It can make your diet more convenient and patch up some spots when you need it to, but it will never be able to fix your diet just by itself. There could be an argument made for creatine, but still, it's a very small boost and you can be perfectly fine without it. And beyond protein powder and creatine, it's not even worth discussing. BCAAs and all that crap is just a waste of money. Invest your money into higher quality foods instead of dust. Or you could invest them into the best training and nutrition plans in the world. In my opinion, of course. These plans will give you the exact structure that you need to succeed. All you need to do is just keep it simple and follow. No headaches, no feelings of being overwhelmed. Just the basics. Click the first link in the description to take a look. I promise you that it will be a much better use of your money than buying BCAAs or some kind of Chinese testosterone booster. Number 8. Cardio will make you lose muscle. Yes, this could theoretically happen, but if you follow what I'm about to tell you right now, you will be completely fine. First of all, you don't want to do cardio right before your workout. Ideally, you should space your cardio and workout sessions by at least 6 to 8 hours. Or in the best case scenario, just do them on separate days. That's what I do personally and I would highly recommend it. The other thing that you have to avoid is just doing excessive amounts of cardio. Running a marathon or riding your bike for 5 hours is obviously not great if you really want to make sure that you are not losing any muscle. Once upon a time it's fine. This becomes problematic once you are doing it regularly. And lastly, the most crucial thing of all, you have to refeed after your cardio session. The same way you would refeed after a workout. Don't leave your body hanging, because that's when the muscle loss is gonna happen. Number 9. Lightweight training is good for toning your muscles. I don't know why, but every time I hear someone say, I wanna get toned, my soul just exits my body. I don't know why, but it does. I might just be way too deep in the fitness rabbit hole. It's like when someone says that they don't want to get too big. Like, come on dude, getting jacked out of your mind does not happen on accident. If you wanna get toned, oh my god, I hate saying this. You need to achieve two things. You want to be lean and you want to have at least some muscle mass. So instead of doing the T word, start progressively overloading and put on some muscle. Then get in a calorie deficit, lose that excess fat, and you will be what you would call... Yeah, I'm not saying that again. What I'm gonna say again though is thank you for watching. I hope you learned something, good luck in the gym, and I will see you next time. This video right here is exactly what you have been looking for. Go check it out.